learned this the hard way, and I learned it while doing this, and oh my gosh, I just wanted to kick myself, but you know what? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Shirani. Today I'm going to show you how to make caramel apples. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need are some apples, of course. When you pick out your apples, you want to make sure that they look good and don't have any bruise on them. To prepare the apples, you have to wash them, and they all come with a wax coating on the outside, so you'll want to wash them in some hot water, as hot as you can get it, and then dry them off with a towel. Okay, after you wash your apples and dry them off really good, you're going to take the stems out and then put the pick in the apples. Now for this part, I find this very hard to do, so you need some manpower. So hubby stepped in and helped me. But yeah, if you have help, let them help you. I got these picks off of Amazon. If you're interested in them, I'm going to leave them linked below. After you put all the picks in your apples, you're going to put them in the refrigerator to chill. Okay, let's move over to the stove to make the caramel. To my pot, I'm going to add 2 cups of brown sugar, 5 tablespoons of butter, 1 1/4 cups of heavy cream, and 1 cup of corn syrup. A good tip is to spray your cup with some baking spray and the syrup will come right out. Now you're going to give that a stir and turn your stove on to medium heat. I'm going to let this heat through until all the butter is melted and it starts to bubble, and that will take about 9 minutes. Now that it's bubbling, you're going to cover it and let it cook for 5 minutes. And you'll be tempted to stir it, but don't stir it. And the reason you're doing this is that so it can create some steam in there, and the water will drip down to the sides of the pot so it doesn't burn. Now you're going to put your thermometer in, and you'll want this come to between 240 and 245, and you can just go in there and stir it often. A lot of people say don't stir it, just let it cook, but I still stir it just because I feel like it's going to burn, but it's not going to burn. But just to be on the safe side, you can stir it. I don't think it messes it up. But just be very careful, don't burn yourself with this. From the time I put the thermometer in there, it took a total of 7 minutes to get to the temperature I want. At this point, you're going to take it off the stove and let it cool down. And you want this to cool down to between 190 to 200. I just wanted to use my other thermometer to check it and make sure. You might be thinking this is a lot of steps to do, but you have to make sure you cool it down. Because if you just try to put this on your apple like this, it's going to run off. It's not going to stick because it's just too hot. Okay, so this took a total of 4 minutes to cool down. I was timing everything for you guys. Now I'm going to stir in 1 tablespoon of vanilla and mix that really well. Now it's time to dip your apples. And look at this, look how gorgeous this is. Oh my goodness. I like to leave a little piece of the apple showing just so people can know what they're getting. But if you want to, you can cover the whole thing, it's up to you, but this is just my preference. You'll want to shake off the excess caramel, and to help with that, I like to just run the bottom of the apple over the edge of the pot. You gotta work fast with this because you don't want your caramel to harden. If you have a lot to do and that's happening, you can just put it back on the stove and heat it up a bit. But I didn't have that much to do, so it was fine. Now you're going to put this on something that doesn't stick. And I learned this the hard way. And I learned it while doing this. And oh my gosh, I just wanted to kick myself. But you know what? I learned something, and I learned it for you and for me. So don't ever use wax paper. If you put it on wax paper, you'll want to spray the wax paper. I think you know where I'm going with this. It's stuck to the wax paper. And I always use parchment paper, but I didn't have any. And I thought, oh, no big deal. I'll just use some wax paper. Well, it did not work the same. It stuck to the paper. I was going to do just 8, but then I had a lot of caramel left over, so I did 9. You're going to have some left over or not. It depends on how many apples you do. But with my leftovers, I just put it in a silicone mold and put it in the fridge to chill overnight. And then the next day, I cut it and made my own caramels with it. Okay, so this is the next day. Here are the apples, and look how beautiful they look. Look how shiny and pretty they are. At this point, I wanted to cry because I realized they are not going to come off easy. That wasn't my plan. If I would have only waited and got some parchment paper, or if I would have used my head and just sprayed the wax paper, then it wouldn't have stuck to it. But you know what? You live and you learn. It was still good though. I used a knife and I just cut off the bottom of it, just to cut off all that wax paper, and it was good to go. I almost forgot to show you this. So this one, it's not going to stick in your mold. It just came right out, so no need to worry about that. I mean, imagine if this would have stuck in there. Oh my gosh, then I would really cry. But it didn't stick at all, and you can just cut this to however you want. So I'm cutting each block into 4 pieces and then just wrap it in my little wrapper, and I have homemade caramels. This one really hurt me to see the apples like this, but you know, I couldn't do anything about it. I already put it on the paper. If I would have only waited. I know you heard me say that already, but that hurt, man. Well, I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you give it a try. If you do, please tag me on any of my socials. I would love to see. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And I'll talk to you in my next one. Take care. Bye.